somewhere between 121 and 123 kilograms. I told my wife, I'm never gonna be able to lose this weight. She told me, fast and pray to God, and I did. Now I'm just under 110 kilograms. But the point is not if I can lose some weight. It's if I can make a lasting change and if I can pass 11 standards that I put up for myself before I turn 40. Back in April, I already started fasting. I already started training and losing weight. This is not a transformation reveal. This is the beginning of a story that I wanted to document. The camera begins the recording, not the work. That already started in April. This is when I start documenting the work that I'm putting in. I've trained since I was 14 on and off. I have a history with strength training. I built a lot of muscle, but back in 2013, I also put on a lot of fat. And since then, now for nearly 13 years, I've been trying to get the weight off, but I never managed to do it. I would go down and then I would balloon up again. I've lost and regained the weight 2 or 3 times, depending on how you look at it. Now, the old strength numbers that I have, those are history. That's not current proof, but I'm not starting from a blank slate.
I set my face toward the distance, put my hand upon the plow, let the old road close behind me. There is only forward now. I don't know what waits beyond it. I don't need the ending yet. I have chosen my direction. This is me beginning.
I had a back surgery in 2024. After the surgery, just walking felt amazing. It felt amazing that I could just use my 2 legs. I felt so blessed. I was so happy that they just worked. Last year, I started a new job and I became kind of engulfed in it. Very interesting, very, very demanding. Because of an internal drive that I had, I almost burned myself out. I didn't burn myself out. It was close. And again, I had time to reflect. I realized that I'm kind of moving in the wrong direction. I was working too much. I was not taking care of my body. And at that point, I decided I needed to make a change. So the turning point came when back a couple of months ago, I told my wife, I'm never gonna be able to lose this weight. And she said, you need to fast and pray to God that He will show you the way you are supposed to take. And right around that time was when I stepped on the scale and it showed around 123 something kilos. And I'm like, oh my, I need to do something about this. And so I started doing what I've done in the past, which is fast a little bit. I was praying and I started walking. And I guess that kind of created a pause for me and an opportunity for me to hear something I needed to hear, but I guess I hadn't been ready to hear it before. Now, during that time when I was fasting, I stumbled upon a video on Facebook by Geoppo. I realized that all these years I've been operating on the wrong level. I'd been trying to fix the issue here, but I never gotten down to the issue, which was how my relationship with food was. I was eating with my emotions. If I was bored, sad, happy, excited, disappointed, you name the emotion and I could find a reason to eat. Now, when I heard that, I realized I needed to make a change. And I needed to change the relationship to food. And I needed to make common sense choices. Another thing that needed to be addressed was my all or nothing approach. And my friends who know me, if you're watching this, you're allowed to laugh because you know how I've been. It's always been all or nothing. When I'm all in. And then when I'm off, I don't care anymore. So the question for me became, if I can't do it for life, then don't build a plan around it. If I can't sustainably keep on doing what I'm doing when I'm losing weight, then don't matter. Don't bother. Don't do it. The years I've been fasting, this nutrition that I've been reading about, I now realize when I sit here that listening to what he was saying about my relationship to food, my all or nothing approach, and a common sense approach brings together the knowledge I have in training, the knowledge I have in fasting and nutrition, and it just comes down to this point where I know that I'm never going to go back again. And these are big words, and you don't need to take my word for it. That's why I'm making this. So I made some progress, but as I said, I've lost weight before. The hard question is whether it stays off this time. It's not whether I will be able to lose weight. I know I will. I've done it in the past. The interesting question now is if I will be able to make a lasting change and keep the weight off. This is not a weight loss journey. This is about making a lasting change and making a change where it matters. So why this project? Why now? I've already thought about some goals before I turned 40, a year or so ago, I think. So that's when I kind of first came up with the rough draft of some goals I wanted to achieve before I turned 40. I'm glad I didn't do this years ago because I realize now that some of the insights that I've recently gotten is crucial for me being able to do this in a lasting and sustainable way. And by all means, I don't know everything now, not by a long shot. So I'm just trying to document what I'm doing right now with the insights that I have. This is not a blueprint for anyone else. Rather, maybe take the principles of what I'm saying and see if you can apply them to your own life.
So today I have 832 days until I turn 40, and I've set 11 tests across 3 categories for myself. 7 of them test my strength, that is pull-up chins, dips, bench press, and front squats. Then strict overhead press, deadlift, and farmer carry. These are my minimum standards. 3 test my engine, the Cooper test, and 2 burpee tests. The final test is endurance, a 20-kilometer hike with a 15-kilogram pack, finishing reasonably fresh. And before I turn 40, I want to complete all 11 within 1 2-week testing period. That is the goal.
What you will see in this documentary of sorts is me trying to achieve these goals sustainably while having 4 kids, traveling quite heavily for work, and just trying to juggle everyday life. What I'm going to be documenting is my baseline in strength, endurance, and work capacity. I will show how I train, explain why I'm doing some of the things that I'm doing, how I think about food, my personal fasting experience, how my faith plays a role to this whole thing. In the next episode, I'll test my strength baseline to see where I'm at right now, and in order to make up a plan how to go further from there. I've lost weight before, so being under 110 kilograms is not the ending. I don't know if I will pass all of the 11 standards that I've set out. Planning this project is not the same thing as doing it. So here is me beginning.
The last light fades along the road. The code lies level with the ground. I leave the names I used to know and turn my face toward what comes now. No map to tell me where it ends.